Good afternoon and welcome to Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey for Pope John Junior Lion Middle School Lacrosse. Mike Formisano here calling today's game. Thank you so much for joining us as the Pope John Junior Lions will take on the Chester Bulldogs. So the exhibition schedule is over, the scrimmages are done, the Riverlax tournament has completed, and now Pope John gets set for their first interscholastic game of the season. And they take on a Chester Bulldog squad right here at Pope John High School. We're on the Upper Blue Field today, and that is where we are broadcasting from. So let's go ahead and go over the rosters, starting with number 1, Malin Sefwick. Number 2 is Ryan Johnson. Number 3, Jonathan Brunia. Number 4, Vic Fiore. Number 5 is Colin Bauman. Number 7, Connor Clifford. Number 8, Max LaBanca. Number 9, Mason Iglesias. Number 10, Zach Cash. Number 11, Vincent Jessamaria. Number 12, Kieran Elvin. Number 14, Tyler Rossi. 17 is Emilio Baracco. Number 18, Charlie Higgins. Number 22, Michael Formisano. 23 is Brody Pillick. Number 26, Andrew Jessamaria. 28 is Santiago Vargas Ramirez. 30 is Carter Johnston. 29 is Johnny Pippa. Number 34, Steve Leonard. 36, Hayden Marshall. Number 38, Ryder Merlino. Number 55, Sutton Fullwood. And the goalkeeper for Pope John is number 72, Michael Morelli. The head coach is Ryan Rigby. Varsity head coach Joe Delaferra. The assistant coach Joe Buono. Program coordinator Beatrice Pippa. Athletic trainer Gerard Graziano. And the athletic director is Brian Carlson. I am Mike Formisano. We are here live at Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey, as the Pope John Lions get set to take on the Chester Bulldogs. Everyone meeting at midfield right now, and so we are on the Upper Blue Field here for Pope John as they are going left around your screen in their home white jerseys trimmed by blue and gold. And Chester in their black jerseys trimmed by red and white with white numbers. This is game number 1 of the interscholastic schedule. Pope John and Chester. And here we go. Opening face-off as ball still on the turf being scooped up by number 7 for Chester. And it goes across the midfield line. A whistle on the play. And it'll be Chester ball. Opening the season here at home for Pope John as they finish 3-1 in the Riverlax tournament, having defeated Abington Heights yesterday, along with Scranton Lacrosse and the Back Mountain Bandits, losing only to Nazareth. Here is number 7 for Chester on the left wing, looking to go in on Morelli on the net. The shot on goal, he scores. Number 7 puts it behind Morelli. And the Bulldogs open the scoring here. It is 1-0. So different from yesterday's games where the goalkeeper would just inbound the ball and send it back in. We have a situation where every goal during interscholastic is a face-off. So face-off to start play up again. 1-0 Chester leads early first quarter over Pope John. Well, number 7 will take the draw for the Bulldogs. It'll be number 2, Ryan Johnson for Pope John. Johnson is able to scoop it up and flip it up in the air, and it takes a bounce towards the far sideline where number 24 recovers for Chester. Out of bounds, and it'll be Bulldog ball. Chester moves it down the field into the middle. Pass off to number 6. Back up top to number 7. Up top to number 14 for the Bulldogs. So they look to penetrate towards the goal. Johnny Pippin, number 29, defending. That pass just through the cross of number 23 of the Bulldogs, and number 10, Zach Cash, waiting for it to go out of bounds. It does not, and that allows Chester the opportunity to recover. Ball's bouncing on the turf. It's a turf field here at Pope John High School on the upper blue field. The main field today being occupied by the girls lacrosse team, and they are matching up right now. So the boys in the upper blue field today, and Morelli's able to smother the ball there, recover, and he'll look to outlet. A little bit windy here today. Perfect weather conditions otherwise. It is partly cloudy. That's 70, maybe 71 degrees. Shot by number 23. Save! Morelli. Mike Morelli getting his ankles in front of that ball. And so now it's picked up by Pope John as they go down the sideline. That is number 2, Johnson with it, along with number 14, Tyler Rossi. Stolen away by number 7 for Chester, but it goes out of bounds. It'll be Pope John ball. 1-0 Bulldogs lead over the Pope John Lions. We are just underway here at Pope John High School in Sparta. Here's Brody Pielick. Pielick moving in. Pielick with the pass over to number 7, Connor Clifford, just out of his reach, and it goes out of bounds. Getting a new ball from the sideline. Sent over to Clifford, and the referee blows the whistle, signaling beginning of play. Clifford comes in. It's knocked out of his cross by number 17 for Chester and sent back to their goalkeeper, which is number 22. We have numbers for Chester, no names. They're on the back of the jersey, but they're really small prints. And we don't have a roster for them. So number 15 passing it up to number 6. It bounces out of his cross on the turf. Pope John fighting for it. Number 26, Andrew Maria in there. And he slows it down enough so that Morelli is able to capture it and hold on. Like Morelli, he'll pass it out to Cash. Number 10, Zach Cash with it. Picks it up off the turf. There's number 26, Andrew Maria, helping him out. And a whistle and a foul on the play. It's going to be against Pope John. And so Chester will take over. Clock being held by the referees on the field, so no scoreboard here today. So we will just go with what we did in the Riverlax tournament and just keep it for ourselves. We'll get a whistle at the end of each quarter. And the score right now, 1-0 Chester. Here's number 4 with the shot just wide left and goes out of bounds. Chester closest to the ball, and so they will inbound it. Number 7 with a quick attack, trying to just sneak that in past Morelli. Nothing doing. And here is Andrew Maria for the Lions. Now to Kieran Elvin. Elvin, far sideline, into Chester territory. This is the opening game of the regular season interscholastically for Pope John. And we've got a whistle against number 26 for Chester. Delayed penalty call. Here's number 18, Charlie Higgins, looking to draw in. Higgins knocked out of his cross. It's bouncing on the turf. And number 2, Ryan Johnson, takes a hit from the Chester defense, but it allows Connor Clifford to be able to get to the ball. Vic Fiore on the left wing. Fiore looking to move in. Does a 360. Pass back to Hayden Marshall, 36. Marshall fires just over the crossbar, and it hits off of Connor Clifford's right leg. So the ball stays in bounds. And Clifford's going to feel that one tomorrow. Here's Max LaBanca over to number 4, Vic Fiore. Fiore has it. Left wing. Pass back to Marshall up top. Marshall will give it in to LaBanca. And it's tipped by the goalkeeper, number 22. It's behind the net, still in bounds. Clifford's able to scoop it up. Pass back to Fiore. Lions trail 1-0. Midway through the first quarter. Fiore looking to break in. Ball's on the turf. Scrum for it. It's in the air. Marshall had it for a second. It's still loose. Chester and Pope John still fighting for it. And it's finally picked up by LaBanca. Now knocked out of his cross by 25. Pope John still fighting for it along with Chester. And it's the Bulldogs to come away with it. Now knocked out of his cross. And there's Charlie Higgins. Higgins coming in on the right. And we got a whistle. Nope. Goes over to Chester. And number 17 is able to take it out of the scrum. And so after all that fighting for it, Chester comes away with the ball and the timeout. Timeout on the field. We're going to take one as well. 1-0. Chester leads over Pope John midway through the first quarter. We'll be right back right after this. Welcome back to Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey. Pope John Junior Lion Lacrosse. Mike Formasano along with you. Calling today's game as Chester leads 1-0. Late stages of the first quarter. And the Bulldogs will take the ball back into Pope John territory to start things up again. It's number 7 working down the near sideline. Over to number 14. Ball's loose on the turf, picked up by number 7 for Chester. Looking to work the way in. The shot goes wide right and picked up by the Lions. Is cashed with it. Zach Cash will turn back around away from the Chester defense. Trying to get the ball to Morelli. It bounces past him. And does it go out of bounds? It does. So out of bounds, and it's going to be Chester ball. Well, the Lions, who led for so much of the time yesterday in Riverlax, with the exception of the Nazareth game, didn't have much of an opportunity to be down, and they are forced to come back, and that's what the situation entails today. Down just 1-0, but still, Pope John will have to work their way back into tying and possibly taking a lead. It'll be Pope John ball out of bounds, and they'll look to inbound. This is game number 1 of the season. Pope John Lions and Chester Bulldogs. We're glad you're with us here at Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey. Lions rush the ball up the field. It hits the turf and intercepted by Chester. The pass just out of the reach of number 6 goes towards the out-of-bounds marker, and it does roll over the line, so Pope John will take over. The pass comes into Pillick. Fighting for it now, Pillick and Justin Marie. Pillick's going to pass it back to Morelli, and he'll reset things. Number 23, forechecking for Chester. Ball all the way down the field. Takes a couple of bounces. Pillick had a shot at scooping that up. It's now still on the turf. Fiore runs past it. The ball's tricky as it bounces on the turf. Trying to go ahead and cradle it with a cross can be difficult. It's right on the midfield line right now, and Chester's able to come away with it. Number 24 for the Bulldogs, knocked out of his cross. And so a lot of physical activity today between the Pope John Lions and Chester Bulldogs. Here's number 7. 7 sets up the offense. He's up top, being guarded by Vincent Jessamarie and Colin Bauman. 7 rolls to the left, now to the middle, looking for a shot. Save Morelli. It's loose right outside the crease. Pope John trying to knock it away and out of danger. Now here is Andrew Jessamaria. Jessamaria will pass it up the field into Chester territory. Knocked out of the cross of Hayden Marshall. Takes a swipe at it. Tries to scoop it back up and does. Marshall has it along the far sideline. He's checked by number 26. Ball's loose. Still fighting for it. Now it goes back towards just in front of the Chester bench. It goes out of bounds. We'll see which way they go. It looks like it's going to be Chester ball. Late stages of the first quarter. 1-0 Bulldogs lead over the Pope John Lions. Pass to number 7, right towards us. And here comes number 7 for Chester. Pass inside. The shot, he scores. Number 23 is able to tuck it in past Morelli, and that gives the Chester Bulldogs a 2-0 advantage. So now with Pope John down by a deuce, we'll have to find a way to turn on the offense and get things going here. Ryan Johnson will take the draw for Pope John. And a whistle. And false start by Chester, so Pope John will take it. Here is Ryan Johnson. Johnson with the pass to the left wing. Number 23, Brody Pielick. He'll roll in through the middle. Pass over to the far wing. Now back to Pielick. Pielick looking for a shot. Saved by the Chester goalkeeper. It's loose right around the crease area. And the goalkeeper loses the stick. The ball's still on the turf, and a hard collision right around the net, and a whistle by the referee. We'll see what the ruling is. That's going to go all the way back down the field. Well, Chester's going to get possession, so. This is just game one of the schedule for the lacrosse team. Game number 2 will be on Thursday against the Heritage Lancers. That'll be in Livingston, so please join us for that on Thursday afternoon. They're predicting rain, so if you come out to the game, bring your ponchos, bring your umbrellas, and bring something warm. A little chilly, rainy possibly. Definitely not the conditions we have today. It's beautiful. Like a midsummer, almost late summer day. Chester has it behind the net. Number 23 looking to roll in. Over to 9. 9 takes it to the far side. Over to 27. 27 being checked there by Vincent Jessamaria. The ball's loose and rolling towards the middle of the field. Number 7 outruns it. It's still on the turf. And Malin Sefwick, or Sefchik, I got to get this name right. He said it to me before the game yesterday. So Malin Sefchik, number 1 for the Lions, is able to swat that away. And Chester decides to call time. So as Sefchik does that, we take time as well. Late stages of the first quarter, and Pope John trailing 2-0. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey for second quarter action. That was the end of the first quarter, not a timeout. So second quarter will begin now with Pope John going right to left on your screen and Chester going left to right. Mike Formasano along with you calling today's game. Thank you so much for joining us as Chester leads Pope John 2-0 starting the second quarter. And Ryan Johnson at midfield looking to face off against the Chester midfielder. The Lions with a 2-0 deficit and looking for a way to work through it. Not a lot of times last year that Pope John trailed in any game. Definitely the one against Verona and a couple of other times, but not very often at all. Here's number 14 with the shot, saved by Morelli. He goes out of bounds, got a stick on it, and I think Pope John is closest. Number 14, Tyler Rossi, had the advantage on number 9, I believe. So I think it's going to be Pope John ball. Wait for a signal from the referees. And here's Fiore. Inbound pass to Andrew Jessamarian, just out of his reach, and it rolls to the sideline, and it rolls out of bounds. So it will be Chester ball. So now Chester, another opportunity on offense deep inside the Pope John end. Number 6 will inbound on the referee's whistle. Six rolls in from the left. Pass back to number 7 up top. Being guarded by Jess Maria. Takes a whack at him. No, that's Pippa, actually. Number 7. Pass across to 2. 2 with the shot. He scores. Number 2. Pass Morelli on the bounce shot, where it hits the turf and then bounces up into the net. And Morelli just missed that. And Chester is able to take a 3-0 lead. So the Bulldogs giving Pope John everything they can handle, and the Lions trailing by a triple. Well, Johnson heading back to the middle of the field to take the face-off. Fiore on the wing. Right in front of us. Lions trail 3-0. Early stages of the second quarter. Here's a face-off. Chester's able to scoop it back up. Here's number 7. Racing towards the middle of the field. He's got Johnson all over him. Johnson with a headshot to the back of the helmet. And he's going to get fouled for that. The shot. Save Morelli. Mike Morelli's able to smother that. And he's going to flip it back. So, well, the foul not called on Johnson. I saw the referee's hand up, so it may have been another call. Either way, Pope John still with possession. And there's Clifford. Clifford will flip it over to number 24 for Chester on the intercept. Bounces towards the middle of the field, and here are the Bulldogs. They scoop it up. Number 7 with it. Takes a hit from Marshall. Now Pielick. Ball's loose on the turf. A lot of that today is keeps bouncing off the turf and out of crosses. It's going to remain Chester ball. Here is number 14 for the Bulldogs. Pass inside to the left wing and rolls towards the back sideline. Can Chester save it? They do. Here is number 9 for the Bulldogs. Rossi all over him. Now 14 with it. Higgins defending along with Pippa. 14 will take it to the far sideline. Now races back to the middle. Pass inside number 9. The shot just, I think Morelli got a piece of it. It may have hit a post as well. Either way, it stays out of the net. And Chester's attempt for a 4-0 lead thwarted. Here is Higgins. Charlie Higgins takes a hit from 23, who stays at that center line. And the rule there, I'll tell you in a second. The shot by Marshall. He scores! Hayden Marshall is able to find the inside portion of the net right next to the post. And that puts Pope John on the board. It's now 3-1, Chester over Pope John. So Marshall scores and gets Pope John started on offense today, early in the second quarter. As I said, when Higgins was moving across the middle line, the Chester player had to stay right at that center line, couldn't cross over because that's the rule. You have to have 6 players on each side. So an attacker can't cross back into the defensive zone unless you get a player coming back the other way. Face off. Johnson wins it, but the ball bounces on him, and so it's still loose. Now picked up by Pielick. Brody Pielick. A little bit of momentum here for Pope John. Moving in, the pass to Johnson, just out of his reach. Marshall chases after it. Marshall avoids a hit from number 26. Good fake by Hayden. Now Hayden moves to the middle of the field, over to Pielick. Pielick to Fiore. Vic Fiore with it now. Fiore looking to move in. Wins picked up here at Pope John High School. Marshall on the left wing. Now inside to Johnson. Johnson with the pass behind the Clifford. Takes a bounce and goes out of bounds, and it's going to be Chester ball. So the pass by Johnson just a little low on Clifford. And so John has to change direction. Now they'll go back on defense. Here is number 17 for Chester. Moving up the sideline. Pass all the way down the field to number 14, just out of his reach. And it hits off the helmet of Tyler Rossi. Ball's still loose. Shevchik playing after it. Now number 9 for Chester. Coming in on alone, the shot wide left. And it goes towards the sideline. Number 6, can he keep it in for Chester? Is Andrew Jessup-Maria defending him as well. Ball stays in bounds, but only briefly. It finally pops out, and as it does, last touch by the Bulldogs. So Pope John will take over. 3-1, Chester leads midway through the second quarter. The Lions able to get on the board on a goal by Hayden Marshall. Here is Ryan Johnson. It's being defended by 3 Bulldogs right in front of the Chester bench. Again, please join us on Thursday afternoon as Pope John will hit the road for the first time this season. They will take on the Heritage Lancers in Livingston. Pope John and Heritage on Thursday afternoon, 4 p.m. If you're able to make it out to the game, please do so. Otherwise, we'll have it here for you. And tomorrow, middle school baseball, as Pope John is in Rockaway to take on the Rams. We'll have that for you at 4 p.m. Shot by number 7, save by Morelli, rebound, score. Number 7 is able to scoop up his own rebound and put it past Morelli, and that will make it 4-1 Chester over Pope John. Face off at center field between Johnson and number 27 for Chester. Here's a draw. Johnson's able to win it, flips it up in the air, and picked up by Vincent Jessup-Maria. Jessup-Maria turns back around, whistle on the play. Calling a dead ball, and it's going to be Chester. So, against Pope John, and the Bulldogs will take over. Here comes number 15 inside the 23 and flips it over Morelli and into the net. It literally just flipped up in the air and just out of Morelli's reach. And as it did so, it popped into the back of the net. So a bad break for Pope John, and that's going to make the score 5-1. You could be Mike Morelli and say, well, I should have had it, but he couldn't reach it. It was just so high over his head, he wasn't able to get it, and it just fell in behind him, and unfortunately, just inside the netting. So 5-1, Chester leads over Pope John. We're about halfway through the second quarter here. It's still a very beautiful day, but it has picked up as far as the wind is concerned. Here is Johnson. Ryan Johnson loses the ball on the turf. Chester trying to pick it up. Takes a hit by Johnson. And a push against Johnson, so the ball's going to go over to Chester. Bulldogs lead 5-1. Pass across to number 27 on the near sideline, the right wing. Defended by Pippa, number 29 for Pope John. Back up top to number 15. Here's number 14 with the shot. Save, Morelli. And the rebound shot goes wide left and out of bounds. I missed the post by about a foot. Number 6 for the Bulldogs. Pass inside 23. It's up in the air. Pope John fighting for it. Looking to scoop it back up. There's Fiore after it. Vic Fiore takes it up. Fiore racing up the field. You need a glimmer of hope as a Pope John fan. Think of this. Last year's first game was at Del Barton Academy. And Pope John trailed in that game, I believe it was 4-1. Well, turnover by Pope John there. It's going to be Chester ball. We'll go back the other way. But anyway, Pope John was trailing in that game. And Pope John with a big comeback. Here's a shot, and it goes wide right. Good defense by Morelli, right on top of number 23 for Chester. The ball goes out of bounds. The Bulldogs are going to maintain possession. Anyway, Pope John fought back in that game, was able to take the lead in the third quarter. It was tied again in the fourth, and the Lions scored the last 4 goals of the game and won by a count of 13-9. So, and Fiore loses a cleat there as he fights for the ball against number 27. And we got a timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. 5-1, Chester leads over Pope John. Late second quarter, we'll be back to Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey, right after this. Half, is it?
But I'm not sure who called it. He lost his shoe.
Yeah, I saw that.
I think they called a timeout.
Okay. It happened yesterday to Louis Brody. Yeah. Funny stuff.
Gosh, this field is not good. Like, it's very bouncy. So I was like, or is it just
Welcome back to Pope John High School on the Upper Blue Field here on the campus of the Catholic Academy in Sussex County. Mike Fulmersano along with you, calling today's action as Pope John trails Chester late stages of the second quarter, 5-1. And I was talking about the first game of last season against Del Barton and how the Lions were able to come back in that game. They didn't have to do it much last year, but that was a big example. It can be done, and you can score goals in bunches in lacrosse. So a 5-1 lead, definitely not insurmountable. So, but Pope John's going to have to turn on the offense here in this second quarter and definitely in the second half to be able to do so. Well, Chester's going to inbound, and there's number 18, and he'll pass it off to number 7. Being guarded by Johnny Pipple, number 29 for the Lions. 7 with the pass in, to 14 the shot. Defended and goes towards the near sideline. I think a defenseman for Pope John got a piece of that. Rossi all over his counterpoint, number 14. Number 14 as well. And it goes off of Rossi, and so Chester will inbound. Pippa guarding number 7 as he walks his way to the middle of the field, right about the 30-yard line, if you're using the football terms. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be grass field, but if you're using a football field, I use the numbers. Number 7 will walk his way back. He passes it across to number 14 on the far wing. Defended by Colin Bauman, number 5. Now in the corner, behind the net, behind the goal line. It really isn't a goal line, but like right where the line would be. Shot on goal, score by number 7. And that puts Chester up 6-1. So the Bulldogs offense having their way with Pope John today, putting a half dozen up on the board before halftime, and the Lions are up against it now. Johnson will take the draw. Very solid and very fundamental Chester Bulldog team coming into Pope John today, taking control early in this one. Scoring the first 3 goals of the game. Hayden Marshall was able to cut it to 3-1, but then 3 more by the Bulldogs, and there's your score, 6-1. Number 14 racing up the far side, past Pippa and past number 2 Johnson. In the corner to number 3, now behind the net to number 10 for Chester. Pass back to 14, can't handle it. Scoops it right back up, though. Andrew Jessamary on him. Number 3 on the far wing. Now back to number 10 below. Pass to 9. 9 in the right corner. Rossi on him. Pass comes across and out of the reach of the Chester forward. And so Andrew Jessamary racing to get it. Doesn't matter as it's going to be Pope John ball anyway. So the Lions will inbound. and they'll start up on offense. 6-1, Chester leads late stages of the second quarter. Here's Higgins, being guarded by 2 Chester defenders. Higgins over the half-court line, or half-field line, midfield line, the timeline, whatever you want to call it. Higgins with the pass, inside to number 8, Max LeBanca. LeBanca with the shot. Saved by the goalkeeper, and it just bounced over the crossbar. Now it comes back out to Marshall. Oh, bad break for LeBanca. Missed scoring a second goal by inches there. Up to Higgins. Higgins fires. Saved by the Bulldog goalkeeper. Big save for number 22. Keeps the score 6-1. Now the pass comes out to 14. He loses it. Bounces out of the netting of his stick. Number 3 with it now on the far side. Inside to 18. Guarded by Colin Bauman. Number 5 for Pope John. Number 2 up top. Guarded by Kieran Elvin. Elvin is able to swat that one away, and Andrew Jessamaria comes up with it. Jessamaria over the midfield line. Andrew Jessamaria with the pass to Hayden Marshall. Marshall inside to Clifford. Now the pass across the LeBanca, the shot off the side of the net. And number 22, the goalkeeper, is able to scoop that up. So the net movement saw just maybe a split second of celebration and heard the cheers in the background, but it was off the side of the net. Now here's LeBanca. Max LeBanca with the pass to Fiore. Fiore coming in, being surrounded by the Chester Bulldogs defense, who was able to just clamp down whenever they want. Clifford, the shot. He scores! Connor Clifford is able to put it just inside the left post on the far side of the goalkeeper for Chester. And Pope John is cut into the Bulldog lead. It's 6-2. So, if you're looking for a spark of hope on the Pope John sideline, a big goal late in the second quarter maybe can spark them as they head into the second half. We'll see what that can do for Pope John's momentum and well-being. Now, Vic Fiore will take the draw. Vincent Jessamaria on the near side here. We've got movement against Pope John and Fiore, so it will be Chester ball. Number 7 with it for the Bulldogs, moving in on Fiore. Fiore trips him down. We got a flag on the play. Delay penalty. Here's number 7. Ball goes back towards the sideline. Rossi after it. And out of bounds, and Fiore's going to head to the penalty area. Number 9 will take it in for the Bulldogs. Pass in to 7 on the right wing. About even with the goal line. And a whistle. And I believe that's half. Is that half? That's halftime. So Pope John, with a late goal by Connor Clifford, is able to cut the score to 6-2. But the Lions still trail by 4 goals heading into the second half. It's halftime at Pope John High School. We're going to go ahead and take a break, and we'll come back with second half action. Chester leads Pope John 6-2. We'll be back for second half action after halftime.